Hey, Paul from Akewatu here. Today we're going to be talking about this board right here. It's the 77 from Sharp Eye Surfboards. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel down here and get all our videos as they drop. Okay, so Sharp Eye Surfboards, they're not new to the game. They've been around since the early 90s. Shaper Marco Zuvi has been shaping Sharp Eyes out of that Southern California, San Diego area for a while. Pretty well known for high performance boards, but it's really in the last few years that it kind of exploded globally. Got a bunch of incredible talent from the world tour surfing on Sharp Eye boards. Thinking of names like Philippe Toledo, Kanoe Igarashi, Tatiana Weston Webb, Johanne Defay. So a bunch of amazing surfers are riding these boards, and there's a reason for that. It's all about the performance. So 77, what's that all about? Could it be a reference to 1977 when North Melbourne Kangaroos won the AFL Grand Final replay? Could be. Could also be 1977 when the Poms smashed the Aussies 3-0 in the Ashes. It's not that. It's actually Felipe Toledo's jersey number 77. This is the board that he won J-Bay on. This is the board he says he's the fastest board he's ever surfed. And it is a board for really good waves. It's a performance board for when the waves are absolutely smoking. Your favorite days at your home break, the days that you're really going to be wanting to surf in something you know is going to perform for you. The 77 is the go-to model. Let's find out why. Okay, in terms of overall outline, things are pretty sleek on the 77. It's kind of a sharp kind of board, for want of a better word. You can just see reasonably pulled in throughout. We're going back through into that pulled in kind of squashed round tail and up in the nose as well. There's not a load of width through there. So our overall outline, it's a pretty sleek outline, all geared up towards those kind of when the waves are good. So if you're talking kind of sucky takeoffs, your good days from head high up even to sort of that 6 foot range, and the waves are kind of pumping, this is going to be a pretty good board to turn to. Let's just check out the profile and look throughout the rocker there. There's quite a lot of it. In terms of the nose, that's a really pronounced nose rocker. Not quite sort of back to the 90s style, but you know, going that way, and that rocker, actually, that profile comes through quite a long way into the board. So a really pronounced nose rocker or entry rocker. Again, great for those super steep takeoffs. You want to get in late, kind of dig the thing in and go, try and knife in. It's going to go really well for that. As we go back towards the tail of the board, a fair bit of tail rocker in there as well, fair bit of tail lift. Of course, none of these features work independently. They're all kind of working together with the foil and with the contour, the overall dimensions of the board, but that is again, a design feature for when the waves are good, and that's going to give you responsiveness to turn pretty tight in the pocket. Just check that tail and get a look. You can see very much an outline you would associate with kind of good waves, a little bit of power there, and that's just giving you that control to be able to deal with that power and to perform radical maneuvers. Okay, in terms of the rails, that's a pretty medium rail, I'm going to say. It's refined and nicely folded, but there's nothing too extreme in there. I'm just going to say that's a mid rail, and that's just going to be a really reliable sort of shape for you on that rail to keep this thing maneuverable and responsive and kind of predictable, which is what you want when the surf's good. You don't want any surprises. And this thing, yeah, that rail outline just feels pretty medium throughout the board. Of course, they're going to work in conjunction with what we've got going on in terms of our bottom contours underneath. And there's a little bit to talk about with the 77. Namely, we're talking single concave throughout. So this is a personal preference from Toledo. We've got a pretty pronounced single concave, and we're going to start up in front of the chest, in front of that front foot, and that's going to run all the way through the board, right back through the tail, and there's quite a bit of concave in there, so that really is generating loads and loads of lift. Is the idea of that. It's going to give you control and speed on steep and sucky faces. A favourite of Toledo, of course, won J-Bay on this design. You think of those really down the line waves, and that single concave is just getting that water through the fins out the back of the board and generating that lift, keep it super high performance. All right, let's talk about dimensions. This particular board here is a 510. It is recommended to surf the 77 at your height. So this 510 is coming in at 26.5 litres. That's 18 3/4 wide, 2 3/8 in terms of thickness. So for a modern short board, if you think about that overall trend towards a couple of inches shorter, maybe a little bit wider, this is kind of rowing back on that a little bit. And again, very much orientated towards those good waves, those sucky, down the line, powerful waves. For surf when it's pumping, this is the board you want to be looking at. In terms of construction, we're talking pretty standard PU construction. So that flex pattern that you're familiar with, just reinforced with a bit of carbon through here in the tail. So just helping kind of protect that area where you're stomping your maneuvers, where you're pushing with the back foot, just to kind of keep that deck and those rails together. A little bit of carbon reinforcement through there, but otherwise it's your stock standard PU with a thruster setup. This one doesn't come with that 5 box that, you know, we're quite used to these days with production surfboards. Of course, there is a Felipe Toledo FCS model of fin. It is available on Akewatu as well, and that would be your recommended fin of choice to surf this kind of boards. It's going to wrap things up for a review of the 77 from Sharp Eye Surfboards. Philip Toledo absolutely raves about this board. So do the likes of Johanne Defay, who's been surfing this one already in 2021 in the Aussie leg of the CT. This has been a board of choice. It's a great board when the waves are good, when the waves are kind of pumping, those really good days. This is what you want to be heading towards, the 77 from Sharp Eye. Thanks for tuning in to the review. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel down here and get all these videos as they come out.
Hi everyone, so I wanted to talk to you about my boards a little bit and one model in particular, and I wanted to talk to you about the 77 model. I think it's a new one from Felipe. This is my 511, that's the board I surf in Margaret River. So yeah, that's how can I say, I use the 77 when the wave was super strong and hollow, and also for step ups. So 511 is a step up for me. My normal board is a 5.8, 18 1/4, 2 1/4 pretty much, around like 24 liters. And yeah, I mean, it's a really great board when you have like very hollow wave, like indoor. I come from Reunion Island, so if like reef breaks, I really like it there. And it could also work on like beach break, like Southwest of France, like Osegor, when it's like very hollow and you have like a short time to make 1 or 2 turns, or if you want to get barrel and hold the rail. So yeah, that was kind of it. I think I go for that board when the wave was super strong on the tour, and otherwise I would go down and take the OK model. And yeah, I make a little like nice painting, pink painting at the back of my boards since a couple of years, so you can recognize it. Okay, I hope that was good, and see you soon. Bye.